As you can obviously tell, I am cooked today, man. I am done. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie you, man. Man, it was a lot of work. Sometimes we underestimate the amount of work that we have to do. See, when I came to the warehouse, I thought it was gonna be an easy ride. The problem is, Monday, Tuesday, all the way to Friday, we never ever have time to do. I'm talking about I never ever have time, to do any form of cleanup, check on things, see where my money is hanging and just see the items that I have put on the side, for one reason or the other. If you sell used computers, one character or one thing that's going to constantly happen is that at some point you're going to be putting items on the side just because of some little component that might be missing. Some of these pieces, they might be missing the hard drive cards. Some of them might be missing some RAM sticks. Some of them might be missing I don't know, the DVD drives, some little things that you must have taken from this PC to another PC. And then for one reason or the other, you just keep leaving things on the side, except you have, a razor sharp system to make sure that if you take up a component from one PC, and use it on another PC, you are always able to quickly come back, to it. And sometimes when I receive some, inventories from suppliers, just for example, if I receive 10 pieces of a particular PC, 8 might be looking in the very, very best condition. One might have a little bit of scratches here and there. Sometimes I just keep it on the side and say, okay, I'm going to come back to it. But sometimes it never ever happens like that, because there's going to be a million and one things that will just come in between you keeping that item on the side and you ever finding time to come back to it. It's exactly what has been happening. And this week, guys, was extremely busy. I was busy doing stuff. And one thing I normally say on this channel is that if you are not busy, take a look at your business. It's very possible that you are not making progress. If you are always chilling, this is why I have sometimes, I kind of feel a little bit pushed to the wall when I hear people talking about, having a business on autopilot where they pretty much do not have to do anything. Sometimes it drives me to the wall, because if you have a business that makes money where you have to do a lot of high energy activities, man, you're going to be doing a lot of work. There's not going to be that time where you just come chill out and not be doing anything and money jobs coming to you. If there is a business model like that, yes, I am open to suggestions. Please go to the comment section below. Let me know. I will pretty much want to be part of that kind of business model. But the business that I run, selling used computers on a platform like eBay on my website, entails that I have to do a lot of high energy activities. Either I'm sending out PCs, I'm packing PCs, I'm troubleshooting PCs, I'm actively listing these offers, I'm researching what items are selling. I'm taking a very close look on my competition, because this is pretty much people that have the key to wherever you are going. They hold the map. If you are doing business and you kind of isolate yourself from what others are doing, something is also technically wrong. But when you take a look at your competitors, you tend to see that, okay, they are going this way. Are you also on this way? Yes, there is a room for you to do something against the grain, against what every other person is doing. Yes, this is where your innovation comes in. But the general idea is that when the competitor keeps selling a particular kind of product, understand that this is a product that the market wants. You cannot just go against the grain, try to go buy something else. Nobody's going to accept it from you. That's a discussion for another day. So when I came here, I said to myself, look, today is Saturday. I do not have to ship out any items. I'm going to go ahead, go through all these inventories I have here. Look, I haven't even scratched the surface, and I'm already cooked. I did go ahead to take a look at the desktop PCs only. The laptops I have here, they are well over, if I'm not exaggerating, over 150 laptops that needs to be looked through, because there are so many things missing. Of course, this is not laptops from yesterday. These are from ages, years of doing this business. And for the desktop PCs, I said to myself, I'm going to take a look at as much desktop PCs as I can possibly take a look at, assemble them, and the ones that are in very good condition, or the ones that are in kind of fair condition where I can actually go ahead to describe the item, I'm going to go ahead and list them. Guys, I was shocked to discover that a lot of money is just hanging here just because I have this thing you call it dead pie. But like I said, if you say use computers, it's just inevitable. You are going to ultimately have something called a dead pie, something that can actually be referred to as, goods that ought to be sold, but they are just lying around waiting for your attention, waiting for you to come to them, take a closer look at them, perhaps clean them up, return the components that you had taken from them, and just make sure they're in good working condition before you go ahead and list them. I mean, this takes a lot of work, and this is what I've been doing since I came here. Guys, I haven't really scratched the surface, but I am impressed with what I have done to realize that, look, there's a lot of money hiding here. And this same goes to you. If you have a dead pie, it doesn't matter what you sell. I understand that time is of the essence. Time is always going to be, that bottleneck. Your business is going to grow to a point where it's going to be no longer a case of if it's going to work. It's not going to be a case of how much time do you have to do this. I'm pretty much at that stage now. Normally somebody might come and say, why not employ somebody? Guys, I don't even see that happening anytime soon, because if you go ahead to start to employ somebody, that's going to be a different transaction. And if you are not careful, you're going to scale that business to the point where you will just have a new kind of problem. I understand this because a long time ago, I did try to get some, virtual assistants on Fiverr. Man, it was like a horror story. At the end of the day, I think one of the, the guys that was helping me, we just finally part ways, because it's going to be this problem where you want something done. The person on the other side is not available to do it because he or she also has a life, not solely working for you. He's got clients here and there. And then you begin to hear things like, oh, my car broke down today while I was driving. I had an accident. My dog suddenly attacked me. You're going to be hearing all sorts of stories why they couldn't finish your job. Man, it was just a pain. And most times when I sit down to do the same thing, I'm able to knock it off quickly and see the effect, deploy whatever I'm trying to deploy and just move on. If I'm able to finish 5 listings, I feel like this is just enough for me. And sometimes when they do stuff for me, it's just going to be one correction or the other. Guys, I was just tired. And right now, I'm not just ready to, start to go the route of trying to look for somebody to come and help me here, because I really do understand that, look, I'm going to scale this business to the point where I can comfortably, manage it alone, without stress. This is a major, shake-up I have done today. This is something I have not done in the last 3 years. And I am proud that I've been able to go through this stuff, clean up some stuff, even discover some things, something that was technically wrong with some of the offers I was listing on eBay. And something that is because I did check through these computers, take a look at the configurations, take a look at what is possible. And I even saw that there was a possible way for me to set up my listing as to make my items, reach a broader audience. I wasn't using this, and possibly I was leaving a lot of money on the table. If not that I was trying to, troubleshoot these PCs, take a look at what's working, what's not working, what kind of configuration is this PC, was not working. I would not be able to discover this. And because I discovered this now, I'm going to go back home, or possibly tomorrow, put into test what I have discovered, or the new way I need to be setting up my listings in such a way that they will be able to reach a broader audience. This, I can't even wait, to test this. Just one little change I made about 2 weeks ago, my sales exploded. Guys, I'm not even kidding you. My sales exploded. I kind of understood that, look, whenever you make a little tweak on your business, it always has a way of affecting your bottom line. It doesn't matter if you sell physical product or even if you make videos. The last video I made, I changed the position in which, I kind of introduced my computers or introduced the items that I've sold. Right now, that video is just performing even better than the videos I've been creating before. I wouldn't know it's the same content, the same, the description, the same items that sold, me telling you guys what's possible, what I've sold, what I need to do with the PC and make sure that the PC gets shipped out. The same thing, but this particular video was made in a different, location, different lighting, different setup. that video exploded. I mean, explosion for my channel is relative. For a bigger channel, perhaps 100 views might be too little, but for me, typically my videos tend to get like 20 views, 30 views. I wouldn't know why. I've done everything I need to do. But then this particular video I made last now is currently now performing very, very fine, and this is one of the reasons why I'm also sitting down here to just talk about how my day has gone. Of course, forget about the videos, forget about the view count. The idea is for me to be able to show you that, look, guys, if you want to make money in 2025, especially making money online, there is a lot of work to be done. There's just no way you can circumvent the work you have to put in. This is the unfortunate truth. If there was a better way to push this idea to you that you can actually make a lot of money doing nothing, I would gladly tell you, but I do not want to be that person that's going to tell you that it's all fun and roses, and then you go ahead to try it and you realize that yes, it's kind of a lot of work. Yes, what I'm saying is this: it's a lot of work, but if you are ready to put in the work, you are definitely going to see a lot of results, and the results you will get sometimes, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. A long time ago, I did try to start making content. I didn't have anything going on, and because of that, making content was a pain because I didn't have anything going on. But right now, if I come to the warehouse every day, I already have like 15 different content ideas, things I can possibly talk about. It is crazy, guys. I started this business to make money. I didn't even know that the activities I'm going to be doing here in the warehouse is also such that I could also talk about, use it to encourage somebody, and just generally show you behind the scene of what happens when you decide to flip PCs for profit. So like I said, I am done, but even though I am cooked right now, I'm so tired, I'm just going to go home after this video. But I am happy with how the things have gone, how I've been able to set up things, and I am looking forward to next week, because with the things that we did this week, if everything is going to stay like this, definitely we're going to be making more sales. We're going to be pushing out a lot of transactions. We're going to be shipping out, desktop PCs, laptops, monitors, complete PCs. And the promise I made to you guys is that, look, I am going to be documenting these things, showing you, so that if you decide, to copy my steps, you are not going to be making a lot of the mistakes I did make, when I just started out. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, I want to make a humble plea one more time. Please consider subscribing. Click on the notification bell so that you are informed whenever I post a different, content on this channel. All right. Of course, next week I'm going to be putting you guys in the know. For some of the things I discovered some graphic cards. I discovered some, desktop PCs that I had forgotten even existed. And there was a particular PC I discovered all the while I had thought that this PC was defective, only for me to plug it on and realize that this PC was in an excellent working condition. See, I'm going to be making a video of all this, showing you guys a lot of these things I discovered, and ultimately putting new items in my shop, because in about 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be going on holiday, and my shop is definitely going to be put on holiday mode. I just want to see what I can do between now and 2 weeks, how I can push sales, because apparently eBay is pretty much open right now. And when eBay is open, guys, it is open. And it's not just a case of how much can you make. It's like I said, it will not be a case of how much time in the day do you actually have, to do this thing. So right now, eBay is open. But of course, here and there, you might still see some people complaining that things are not going through, sales are not going through. If you are that kind of person, please, I want you to go ahead in the comment section. Let me know exactly what you are selling and what is it that's going on with your sale. And perhaps you never can tell. We might start a conversation, and I might be able to point you in a direction that you might need to go. Perhaps it might just be something that you or myself, would ultimately benefit from. So do not hold yourself back. Write me in the comment section. I will be happy to see it. Until I see you guys next week, have a beautiful weekend ahead.